Jeez, showtime, baby. Oh man, young Kelly, baby. Was really good, family. Was really good. I haven't been on this thing for like ages. Gee. Oh my gosh, have you lot been missing me? I hope you lot been missing me, man, because I've been missing y'all, man. I ain't heard nothing from you guys. Y'all ain't. Where's all the messages at, man? Where's all the messages? Where's the comments at, man? If I don't do a show, what you lot gonna say to me, man? So anyway, family, like I want to know where's my notification gang at? Gang members. Let me know where you at, family. I just want to highlight the fact that I actually want to do a show tonight. I actually want to do a show tonight. So let me know if you're in the building. I don't know if there is this problems because I ain't uploaded, done no shows or nothing that y'all ain't getting no notifications. But if you are, please let me know if you're getting the notifications so I know that you're up in the building, you're hitting the like button, family. Let me know at least, alright? So yeah, tonight, I'm gonna do a show tonight. Me, the resident medicine man, should be on tonight. I always say should be, because you know how it goes. But yeah, roughly, let's say 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah, 9:30, 10 o'clock. We should do a show tonight. And we're going to discuss a lot of things, actually. We're actually going to discuss quite a few things. We're going to discuss education, which is paramount. Like, it's very paramount. There isn't anything much more important than education, especially in these days and times. Because guess what? Our people are oppressed because of one thing, lack of knowledge. So we're trying to get our education up. So that's going to be the number one topic on discussion. Number two topic on discussion as well is Maat. Maat, baby. We're going to be doing a show dedicated, I think that's too much of a strong word. We're going to be doing a show that incorporates certain questions in regards to Ma'at. Beautiful brother Anwar actually asked a question, which I believe he, how can I put it, inherited, got, borrowed, took from, our brother Zion Lex, who had a debate with Jabari or Zazi. And he asked the question. He asked the question, man. Like, who's the author of Ma'at? So that's going to be one of the questions that we're definitely going to tackle today. We're going to answer the question of who is the author of Ma'at. Where did Ma'at come from? The 42 laws or the 42 negative confessions or the 42 declarations of innocence. These types of talks here shall be answered. Okay, family? Definitely shall be answered. So, family, let me know if you're in the building, man. Let me know if you're in the building because I know already how YouTube is working. YouTube is trying to be the enemy of progress right about now, but it's all good. It's all good because you can't keep a good man down. Them ways there. So let me know if you're up here, up in the building with me. And yeah, let's get it popping, baby. Let's get it popping. So tonight, let's aim for 9:30. Miss, we'll hit it for 10 p.m. We're gonna do a show. Hopefully as well. I know my African Christian brother, Theo, would like to come onto the show. So hopefully, when is it? When is it? Wednesday, probably. Wednesday. We should get my brother Theo on to the show and see what's good with that. So just giving y'all some little updates and information, family. Some updates and information. What else? What else is popping? What else is popping? So we're gonna answer those questions. So we're gonna deal with education. We're definitely gonna deal with Ma'at, the principle of Ma'at, and so forth. And again, we're actually going to be incorporating everybody into the mix. We try our very best to be inclusive. So whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, atheist, Kemetic, whatever you are, we'll definitely tie everything in so you can feel as though you're part of it. You know, in ways that you have to feel as though you're part of something at least. Like, can't just be talking over your heads. So we're gonna try very best to, tie in all these different concepts of education, tie into the principles of Ma'at, tie into the principles of, we got the 42 declarations of innocence, which, some people will equate that to, laws of commandments given in the Bible, the Torah, Old Testament, etc. Christians have the Ten Commandments, and then obviously, the Muslims, they have the concept of different rulings or commands God gives. So we're going to tie it all in so you can see the similarities, you can see the differences. We're going to juxtapose it to each other, etc. We're going to show you where the concept actually originated. Okay, it seems as though some people, can't quite grasp the origins of Ma'ad, which is pretty much very much so simple. I think most people complicate the situation to a degree that doesn't need to be complicated. So we're going to show you who the authors of Maat is. What else we're going to go into? We're going to go into quite a few things. there's so much that we're going to touch on. I know my brother gave me a few bullet points of items to discuss, so we're definitely going to go into all of those different items, and it's going to be a mad show still. It's actually going to be a mad show. You lot going to actually thoroughly enjoy it, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. When I was having a discussion yesterday, unfortunately we couldn't actually do the show yesterday. But when I was having the discussion yesterday, what time was that? I can't remember what time we spent like a whole hour just talking, and it's like, geez, if this was actually recorded, yeah, this could be a show in itself. You know, in ways there, it could have literally been a show in itself. We were just gassed, just bouncing off each other. So definitely, we're gonna actually, drop you some powerful information today. And I'll need y'all to like, hit the like button. I need y'all to share the link. I need y'all to do all of those different types of things there, because trust me, I think, yeah, personally, yeah, this show, yeah, is a show to end all shows. It is a show to end all shows. It's one of those ones. I'm actually gonna rate it to that level. Yeah. Got food in my teeth. Imagine. Yeah. Um. Yeah. My relationship with Shamsi is cool. It's cool. Shamsi's always been my brother and always will be my brother, man. Come on, man. That's my brother right there. Got too much love for my brother Shamsi. Obviously, we both represent different ends of the spectrum of schools, but we should all still respect each other, and I respect his part that he plays in his community. As I've always said, like when I look at certain brothers at the park and represent a particular form of religion and see it in a nice pristine form, I'll have to say like, right, man, like Shamsi, man, like Anwar, and them brothers there, yeah, do their thing. The brothers that actually reach out to you to actually not just argue and debate with you, but to enlighten you and actually drop you knowledge and information. Like brothers like Shamsi, Eunice, Anwar. These brothers, yeah, I rate these brothers. Why? Because they actually are like a beacon to Islam, beacon for Islam. Like if you want to see a nice form of Islam, in a sense of without the ego as much, like you look at these brothers, like they're real humble and they're real knowledgeable and they conduct themselves like really nicely. Like I don't have no qualms with them as such. We have disagreements and we like to just have a little like jousting match and all them things there. But it's like it's love. Like I think I love that brother more than I love most brothers. Yeah, who call themselves brothers in the park. To be honest with you. The way is there. Like Shamsi's the man still. Like I'll be real with you. I'm not even gassing at all. I'm telling you for real. Like he could talk the most wreck to me, yeah. But I actually admire a man like Shamsi. Like real talks. Real talks. Still. What else? What was I saying? I forgot. I've actually forgot now. What was you saying? And with Adnan. Oh yeah, no, I was saying with Shamsi and them. Yeah. They might drop you information. They might drop you things. They drop me gems, bruv. Like the next man I'm in the park here who whatever. Yeah, they want to do dawah to you. Yeah, embrace Islam, or you will enter the hellfire type of dawah. You're like, okay. Like these next men, they actually really care. They'll be like, "Yo, Cal, this is what book you should read. Cal, this is an article that you should actually look into. Cal, go check out this new article written by academia somewhere in academia. Yo, Cal, check out this video from the Salafi publications, etc., etc., etc." Them ways there. These are the brothers, yeah, that I rate, bruv, because you don't find any other brothers here actually doing that form of dawah, of actually inviting you and giving you information to actually learn from, like, and make you change your perception. So I've got to rate that. Next brothers just chatting out their anus, yeah, but these brothers are about it. They're real. They live that life for real. So shout outs to those four brothers or three brothers that I mentioned just a minute ago. And you asked me a question about Adnan. Adnan, see again, Adnan is cool. Like I've got like for me, yeah, I respect people and the role that they play in society. Whether I agree with them or disagree with them, like they play a role within inside of society that isn't there. I don't think intentionally wise to produce any negative effects. But they're there to actually be something within inside of the community, and I always have to respect it and respect, yeah, respect other people that has other people, other individuals looking up to them in a position of power and authority. So yeah, Adnan, yeah, he's alright, he's alright. Like obviously, he tries to do his little sneak disses about black supremacy and racism and all them things there. And I personally, I just think that he's projecting. When you're actually projecting, like these are things that you have deeply inertly within inside of your heart, but you want to be calling somebody else here. So I think that's what it is with him. Like, a lot of that generation have been affected and are deep rooted inside of a supremacy and racism. Yeah, they're deeply rooted in it. They don't even realize they're in it, but they deeply rooted in it. And but yeah, yeah. So that's what I think about Adnan still. So, but yeah. But again, everybody has their part to play with inside of society. Let's see what we got here. Where's Sarah? That's a good question. I'm missing that brother still. Like, and a lot of people at the park is actually missing Sarah as well. I'm talking like Muslims. They're actually missing Sarah, bruv. It's not the same without Sarah there. Trust me. Yes, Pentecostal ministry was good. Adnan had deep levels of displacement going on. Trust me. SLM TV. Yeah, baby. So yeah, family. Yeah. So I was gonna say, so yeah. So show tonight, 9:30, 10 o'clock. We're gonna definitely be going into education. I'm gonna drop some gems for you guys, as per usual. You know how I do, man. I'm always dropping gems. So please tune in tonight and check out the gems that's gonna be dropped. And the medicine man is gonna be going in. Oh my, bruv. To be honest with you, yeah, I think we had over an hour conversation. I can't even say I spoke for 15 minutes in all of that hour, like at least 45 minutes. Yeah, I was listening to the medicine man go in G. So trust me, like I know y'all gonna love this show tonight. Trust me, I already know this. I so again we're every Sunday. Yeah, greetings from Poland. Poland in the building. Oh man. Yeah, YouTube never notifies for your live shows. YouTube is hating. Trust me, just facts. Trust me, I know this. I know this, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It actually is what it is. A lot of people have been telling me this. Even I even get like I put on my second phone and I see how comes I ain't getting no YouTube notification? Like, I'm having a show, there's no YouTube notification. I'll get like an email like an hour or two later, yeah, saying Callum is live. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, it is what it is, man. I ain't got time for that, man. YouTube is doing a madness, bruv. Doing an absolute madness. I'm looking at stuff, yeah. Like I don't know, for those of you who have YouTube accounts, about monetization and about things being under reviews and stuff. Yeah, I I go and check. When you just like realize, oh, something ain't right here, and you go and check like all your videos, like at least half of the videos, yeah, are all yellow on the review, and I'm like, huh? Like, and when I don't care, yeah, I haven't really been checking for YouTube as of late. They've been not calling me, they've been emailing me, come, you need to come in for your YouTube partnering program. Nah, bruv, man ain't checking for your YouTube no more, bruv. Like back in the day, you used to show me love, and I respected you for it, yeah. But I ain't even uploading nothing on your platform as much as I want to, as I should do, bruv. Do you know the way it's there? I'm not even doing it. You lot taking the mick, bruv. Every single minute, a video is not being monetized. Every single minute, like there's no ads on it. Whatever. Like for what reason? I do not know. I really don't know. I don't know if people are flagging videos or whether just because it's got keywords again. Of course. Trust me. As soon as you have something like Jew versus something like flagged. As soon as you have like Muslim in the comment, in the video flagged, like anything like politics flagged. The way is there. Anything to do with something serious or controversial, yeah, like it's flagged, and it's just taking a mick now. It really is taking a mick. You can't do nothing religious. You can't do nothing controversial. You can't do nothing political. You can't even do nothing national wise on YouTube without your stuff being flagged or not flagged. What's it called? Demonetized. But here we go. That's YouTube for you, innit? That's YouTube for you. Loads of YouTubers are just complaining on the way YouTube's actually treating them and so forth. And boy, boy, YouTube, YouTube, you make it very difficult for us as content creators. Like me, I can't even be bothered to actually upload anything on your thing no more. That's how bad you've gotten. Just taking the mic. But anyways, Jesus and I am the way, the truth, and the life. Do 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 do. Bolosnaro. Jesus is the way, but not the destination. What's up with you in Poland is quite cool. Jesus is the destination. But wait, he said he's the way. Do you have a Patreon? I do, Check. I think it's down below. It should be down below. The Patreon is down below. Again, I've been so haphazard with this whole YouTube thing. I should really, make sure that the Patreon is there though. But it's like GoFundMe's and things like that. I should really make sure that that's all popping. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's that. Didn't get notification. I thought you didn't like me, rude boy. Oh, you're effective. You see it? Wow, you didn't even get the notification. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. See, YouTube is just playing games. But anyways, family, I don't even want to spend here much longer. Might just do like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Let's make it like a 20-minute video. So if you got anything to say, just tag me. Just say Titan TV. Boom, 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 and I'll answer your questions or whatever. Yeah, Curtis Travis was good. Yeah. So again, the discussion for tonight is going to be to do with education, education, and definitely from a priestly perspective. And let me be inclusive to say from a prophethood perspective as well. Okay, because I'm gonna have to be inclusive. And then for my other groups of people, it's gonna be from a university or schooling level. Okay, so when we're talking about priesthoods and prophethoods and things like that, every single priest or prophet technically had to be educated. Okay, had to be educated, had to be schooled, had to be trained with a particular set of skills and knowledge in order to go out into their community to help resurrect and change and make a difference and distribute that medicine to the people. So we're going to be speaking from that point of view, especially from the Kemetic side of things. Then we're going to break it down into the Jewish Torahic perspective, biblical perspective, and then we're gonna just barely touch on the Islamic Quranic perspective as well. So we'll just give you a nice breakdown of education and why is it so important for us, especially in this day and time, especially for our grouping of people who are being oppressed by the lack of knowledge that we do have. And it's a beautiful thing that we are actually having this revival and conscious community, this consciousness, this reawakening that's taking place. So, knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. And knowledge is not even just power, knowledge is actually potential power. Knowledge is potential power. It's once you actually put that knowledge into practice, yeah, that's when it's true power. Knowledge in practice is true power. And then we're going to jump into a little bit to do with Ma'at, which is the concept or the divine principle within inside of the Kemetic philosophy that literally is the it's the pleroma, it's the everything, it's the all, in terms of the psyche of the people, Ma'at. And we're going to break down, certain elements of the 42 laws of Ma'at, or the 42 negative confessions, the 42 declarations of innocence. And we're going to actually go into, I think, one of them, which was made mention from my brother Anwar, which we're going to elucidate a little bit further on, which is to do with offerings and theft of the offerings, etc. And why is it necessary for us to actually give offerings slash sacrifices to a particular divine entity or to a particular divine force, and what does that actually mean in a real world term? So we're going to talk on that, and then we're going to go into the biblical or the biblical slash Quranic slash Abrahamic narrative, and we're going to be touching on some big figures such as Melchizedek or Melchizedek. We're going to be touching on a lot of these types of things here, and we're going to go into some detail. I'm going to show you a few things that you might not be aware of. I think, to be honest with you, you won't be aware of these things. I know you ain't going to be aware of these things. It's one of those ones there. So we're going to touch on those things. What else are we going to touch on? We're going to touch on what we actually need to do now in the here and the now, like the actual practical things, which is really like fundamental, like really fundamental. We're going to drop some KMTS on you, baby. The Kema at Transformational Society. We're going to drop a bit of that. Um, uh, yeah, we're going to touch on quite a lot of things. We're going to touch on some African practices, Kemetic practices, and how it translates over into the West Semitic region in terms of the West Semitic region, Arabs, Israelites, those type of things there. We're trying to be inclusive yet again. So yeah, before I close it down, oh, it's 20-minute mark. It's time for me to get going. Let's see. What is it? I didn't get a notification. Kalam, still with your brother. What's the discussion for tonight again? Do you think Shamsi's apology was sincere? Um, no, Shamsi's cool, man. Regardless if no, his apology was sincere. Like he apologized a few times, so I know it's sincere. Tans TV, what's up with getting some Qurani Muslims on the panel? Yeah, we need you on the panel. We need whoever you if you can get some few Qurani Muslims, like get them, man, get them. We need that. We need a change up. Let's see. Don't get discouraged, boy. We need this info. Medicine. I love it. Everything is everything. We live, baby. We live. God damn, man. Gee, just facts times TV. Oh man. Peace, peace. What's good? Everything God says sup. What's good? Can you do a session on the emerald tablets? Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, see? This is what I'm saying. A lot of these things here, personally, right now, yeah. Right now. Man's got like my arm up like this, like man's champion, them ways there. Right now, all I actually want to focus on, yeah, is Africa. All I want to focus on is on Kemet. All I want to focus on is delivering some spirituality. All I want to focus on is actual practicality, economics, changing things in the practical here and now. Like, that's what I want to do, to be honest with you. I don't want to get sidetracked at all. I really don't. Like, this is Black History Month, and I just want to give that proper medicine to the family. That proper medicine. I know some of us are in other things, so we have to, incorporate everybody into the mix, into the conversation, depending upon where you're sitting or standing. So, we're gonna drop a few things, but I want to talk on real stuff. Like I want to go into like things like the Emerald Tablets, things like the Hermetica, things like the teachings of Jehuti, the things like the Medu Neter and all of those teachings there. Things like the Yoruba school and the Ifa system and all of those things there, the Back Congo and the Nomos from Mali, which is all of those things there. I want to go into all of those deep, 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 deep things there with you, family. Brothers asking me more about the spiritual stuff, things to do with meditation, things to do with getting in contact with your higher self and all of those different types of things there. Like I want to talk more about like all of this base stuff here. I'm tired of it. I really am. I really am. To be real with you, I really am. But again, I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to grow and elevate. So some people need that particular type of medicine. But I want to say to y'all, like, I'm here in it. I'm here. Me and the medicine man, we're definitely here. We're definitely here for you guys. So just all you have to do, yeah, is send us some show ideas. That's all you got to do. And just keep on us. Send us some show ideas, keep on us, and we will do it for you. If you want different types of shows, just tell us what you want, to be honest with you. Because I'm ready to just keep it moving. All right? Let's see. Yeah, yeah. All right, family. So, is it the same? So, my brother here is asking, King Stitz is asking, is the teachings of Jehuti the same as the Emerald Tablets, Hermeticism? I would say yes and no, and no and yes. And that there is a teaching of Hermeticism, and that there is a teaching of Jehuti. Why do I say that? Because we're going into the laws of polarity. Okay? For every truth, there is a half truth. That's just simple. You know, for every hot or for every heat temperature, and we're going to the worlds of temperature now. We're going to go into the extremes of hot and cold. But every single time you reach a hot place, there is still hotter to go. So when you're at that hot place, and there is still hotter to go, at that point of looking at hotter, you will realize when you was hot, it was just a facet of coldness. So what I mean by every truth is a half truth. Every yes, when I'm saying to you yes and no and yes, I'm telling you half truths. So let me make that make more sense to you guys. For those of you who aren't up on the teachings of the Emerald Tablets and Hermeticism and the teachings of the Kabbalion and so forth. These are all later versions or later orientation of the original Kemetic way of thinking. Unfortunately, for the earlier forms of Kemeticism, if I should use that word, or teachings of Jehuti, it is very metaphorical. It's very poetic. It's very in the air. You literally need to be well educated to just grasp the concept, because it could be just one glyph, one hieroglyph, one ayah, one sign, one tire, just one thing, and it's just there. And somebody who's well skilled, they can just read that and be like, oh, they can give you a whole, 10 page document or 20,000 words dissertation on that one symbol and the different meanings it inculcates and encapsulates. But that's the original teachings. Then you have things like Hermeticism, things like Kybalion, things like Emerald Tablets and so forth, which is the later versions of like when it's Greek times and Roman times and Arab times, where some of them have grasped a lot of the information and written a whole dissertation upon certain of the teachings. So I would say it's different because it's not in its original form, but it's a nice explanation where your mind can actually grasp it very easily, very very easily. That's it. Do. Okay, Callum, what about the enemy within? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we all have the enemy within. Give you a little breakdown of that. Little breakdown. So, some people call the enemy shaitan or shayateen and all them different types of things there. But most people don't actually understand that shaitan is actually within inside of you itself. And that is to do with your appetitive nature. The nature, or your lower nature, is really the shaitan being, and your higher nature is really the Elohim, the Yah, or the Allah. Yeah, Allah being, basically the Ilah, the deity. We all have the both sides to us. When you start reading into mysticism, especially from the Jewish schools of thought, Gnosticism, Sufism, you'll realize this. But most people aren't on that types of levels. They're usually used to the literal, what it says, rather than the allegorical and the metaphorical and the spiritual aspects of the teachings that you know we so-called ascribe to. But yeah, we have these different natures, and we need to learn how to be able to subdue those natures. Let it be an abid to you, a slave to you, and let your higher ruh or ruach or your ba self actually be the one who's in control and leading you. So that's something else. That's a very powerful teachings that I don't even know. I don't even know if I will even go into these types of talks here, because it will lose a lot of people. I know it lose a lot of people because I say ish, and people are like, what? What do you mean? Did. Like, oh, you're arrogant. Oh, you're egotistical. I'm like, God damn. Like, when you go and read certain things within inside the Kabbalion, it teaches you. Don't say you are this to certain people. Don't say to certain people, because they're just not ready. That's why we create secret societies or mystery systems to shield the profane world from certain truths, because they themselves are not ready for those certain truths, and you'll be persecuted and killed for those simple truths. So yeah, even on here, I doubt that I'll even go into them type of talks there. But I like it though. We should do some very select hangouts. We should jump on the select hangouts and talk them type of talks still. Anyways, it's 30 minutes in, man. I should be gone by now. As above, so below. All in all, give you something quick on that, please. And how does it Maat tie into Tahuti? No, Maat ties into Tahuti. I'll give you something. I'll give you a little I'll give you a little secret, all right? I'll give you a little secret. Kemet, we also have the concept of the Trinity, you know. For those people who don't know, we have various different concepts of the Trinity, but I'll give it to you like this. Um, our concept of the Trinity is literally the same as the Islamic and the Muslim concept of Trinity, whether they agree with or even acknowledge it or not. You know, we have the concept of Ra, which is the intelligence or the consciousness, and then we have the principle of Jehuti, the Logos, the Word, the logical thought, the thinker, the wisdom that actually speaks things into existence, the creator of all things via its speech, via its kalam, via its kalim, via its kalam, via all of those different types of things there. Whether I'm speaking Greek, whether I'm speaking Arabic, it's all the same thing. We have that principle. You with me? Then you have the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth. What does the word truth mean in ancient Egypt? It's Ma'at. Okay, the spirit of truth is literally Ma'at. That is the Holy Spirit. That is the Shekinah or the Sakina, depending on what school of thought you go into. If you go into the Jewish school of thought, they will tell you that the Holy Spirit or the Kudus Ruach or the Kadesh Ruach is literally the Shekinah. The Shekinah is actually a feminine principle, which is the Holy Spirit, which is Ma'at. And when you look on the, the paintings on the walls and papyruses and so forth, you'll usually see on the bark or the manjet or the boat of Ra, you literally see Ra, and then you see in the front or either ends of the prow, you'll see either Jehuti sitting on the right and Ma'at sitting on the left. These are the three principles that govern the universe. The three principles that govern the universe, and everything else is a multiplicity and interaction between those three principles. Just like everything is an interaction and multiplicity of those three principles of Atum and Shu and Tefnut, the first triad. You with me? Shu, yet again, is to do with who, which is to do with utterance. You with me? It's to do with breath. It's to do with Ya, Shu, Ah, the breath of life. Then you have the principle of Tefnut. And if you look at the principle of Shu and Tefnut, Shu has the feather on his head, which accompanies Ma'at, which is the, how can I put it, the accompanying of Ma'at, which is really Tefnut. If you actually go back into the pyramid text and the coffin text, it tells you that Ma'at is the daughter of what's her name? Of what's his name? Atum, which is really talking about Tefnut, which is really talking about Ma'at. And Ma'at delineates justice, and that's why the eye of Atum had to go forth and actually devour and destroy a whole group of people. Why? Because they were rebellious. So that is the spirit of truth and justice actually manifesting in the world. So you have all those different types of principle, man. Oh man, oh man. And all these different types of principles ties into Gnosticism, ties into Christianity, and actually ties into Islam as well. But most people don't actually understand that. But just to break that down real quickly for my Islamic people, which are going to get upset because, you know, anything that Kalam says in regards to Islam, you know, it's always going to be haram. But anyways, again, you have the principle of the Asma wa Sifat. You have Allah and you have His attributes. And obviously we know we have Allah has the attribute of His speech, His Kalam, His speech. Yet again, we have His attributes of speech. Without the constitution parts of His attributes, He's not Allah, is He? Okay, so that's one part of the Trinity yet again. Then you have the principle of the Nafs, which is His spirit. Most people don't like to say He has a Ruh, or call it Ruh Allah, which clearly says within inside of your Quran, but they want to negate it, and clearly says again in terms of Joseph and his brothers going to search out the Ruh of Allah. But anyway, that's another story. So we have all these different types of principles, wherever you want to call it Nafs or the Ruh. You have the three different distinct parts of Allah that makes Allah Allah, and it's the same idea. It's the unmanifested manifested in the world. But anyways, that's all I'm gonna give to y'all real quickly, and let's see.